Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to the video. I hope everybody's morning is going great. And as I promised, we got the Dallas Fuel video. And oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about, guys. So yesterday, Taimou, he was on Oversight with Thorin and Monty. And Taimou basically just gave us a ton of amazing insight. Not only recent stuff, but also stuff from a while ago. Things about their ex-coaches, KyKy. And this kind of started a bit of drama between KyKy and Taimou. KyKy made a response to what he said on Twitter. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. Then the rest of the video is going to be all about Dallas Fuel. How good actually are they? How far can they take it in stage 4? Pretty much anything and everything that has to do with Dallas right now. So for you Dallas Fuel fans, this video is going to be lit. And if that excites you, be sure to drop a like on this video. Let's see if we get to 2,000 for this one. Also, guys, I am doing a giveaway for 4 Overwatch League jerseys. It's 100% legit and extremely easy to enter. All you have to do is click the gleam.io link down below in the description or comments, enter your email address, and click the subscribe button, click the like button. It's that easy, guys. And I know you're sitting here thinking, oh, I won't win. I never win these. Well, that's exactly what every single person who won my giveaway from last month said. So trust me, guys, you may think you're not going to win, but you never know. It's worth the 10 seconds to enter, so go ahead and do that now. Alright, and thank you for listening to my long, annoying intro. Be sure if you did listen to the whole thing, comment down below, heart intro. That way I know you are a true viewer. Alright, and now let's go ahead and get into this video. Let's go ahead and start off with what Taimou said about his ex-coaches on Oversight. Then we'll go ahead and take a look at KyKy's response.
I don't know what went through our coaches' heads back then, but it was like we have this trio of Harry, Costa, and Chips, and then they're testing like, okay, Harry's playing Zen today, and Chips is playing Mercy today. Okay, what's going on? Okay, Harry is lacking something while playing Zen. Okay, Chips is lacking something while playing Mercy. So the next day we're playing Harry and Mercy, Costa and Zen. And then, okay, Costa's not very good at Zen at this thing, and then Harry's not this good at this thing at Mercy, and they're like this constant fucking swap all the time. We never had a 6. And it's like,
so it's sort of like a Rubik's cube. You just keep moving it until it seems like everything's not. Yeah, that seems right. Blue on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very disheartening to play the game back then.
Now, Taimou doesn't directly say it's KyKy, but it's pretty obvious he's actually talking about him. They don't really have many ex-coaches on Dallas Fuel besides KyKy, and then when KyKy made this response on Twitter, it was very clear he was talking about him. So let's go ahead and take a look at the tweet from KyKy. Not sure why these things keep going full circle, but in response to what Dallas Fuel Taimou said, and he definitely was aware of this, Custa swapped off Zen to main healer so that he could start calling, by his request. When Custa got subbed in, then out, that was a choice I couldn't control. I get that everyone wants to paint me as the bad guy, but we all knew this was a Dallas Fuel meta in stage 4, and it was no secret this would be the best stage for them. I am glad the players are doing well, that's all. So that's KyKy's response to all of this, and before I talk about it, I have to show you guys this tweet. Somebody said this in response to KyKy. Enough with the defensiveness in every interview / tweet. Take ownership for some part of it. Or since this is supposed to be Outlaws meta 2, you can try and prove you aren't fully outclassed by Aero. Ooh, yikes. That's savage coming out from Tyson Waters. And I mean, he's kind of right here. It's a little ridiculous that KyKy still, to this day, avoids taking any criticism or any blame for how badly the Dallas Fuel performed early on. Like, we all know and understand it wasn't all KyKy's fault, and possibly he wasn't even the person that was the most at fault. But he was still at fault a decent amount. He was the head coach of this team. He can say he didn't have control, he can say this, he can say that, but at the end of the day, he did have some control. And the fact of the matter is that he is sitting here right now on Twitter saying, oh, well, you know, it's Dallas Fuel's meta now in stage 4. Of course they're gonna do good. If it wasn't this meta, they would be bad still. Which I'm not gonna disagree and say, you know, this isn't their meta. But you can't make these excuses up. Like, oh, ugh. Like, seriously, it's dumb. Let's go ahead and take a look at this other clip of Taimou talking about how the team literally gave up once they traded away Custa.
I think the team gave up after we had to give Custa up, right? We literally all of us gave up. We're like, fuck this. This is shit. This is like There's no way we're gonna.
That's
like,
just
ever
the
win.
cost of doing business.
Oh my god.
Well, KyKy, it seems like you let your team give up after you traded away Custa. So I think there was something you could have done. Quit crying, quit pretending like you're the victim. Seriously though, ever since day one, KyKy has always played the victim card, and it's getting old, you know? Just man up, dude. You're on a new team now. It's in the past. You don't have to keep trying to defend yourself at every turn and corner. Let's go ahead and take a look at another clip that kind of relates to this. It's Taimou talking about the changes of Dallas Fuel ever since Aero has joined on as the new head coach.
Massive improvements in communication, teamwork, who's calling what, and just the overall like feel for the game. Sure, like I was still playing bad, so we lost to Gladiators and we didn't have the experience to run Brigida enough yet. But for this week, though, we knew Boston literally sucks dick right now. They're really bad, right? So we go in, we stomp them, blah blah blah, and then for the Philly match, we knew that Philly is very good, but they're really stuck in their ways. And Aero working with Peak and Vol'jin, they're really good at counter-stratting, and it helps us so immensely. Like, we never really... Like, we were like the other teams. We were like, we don't give a shit what the other team plays. We play our own thing, we outplay them, we win, right? We didn't care about the meta. But now, we're the ones to adapt, and it helps us so much.
So in this clip, Taimou's pointing out the big differences between Dallas Fuel now and Dallas Fuel, say, a couple months ago. And since then, there is only 3 major factors that have really changed. Effect is no longer here, KyKy, he is no longer here, and now Aero is here. Sure, one could argue and say, oh, well, the meta is definitely a big factor, and so are some other things, but I would disagree. I think these are the 3 major things that have changed overall within the Dallas Fuel. And I don't want to say that Effect and KyKy were the big problems, but clearly KyKy, he was a big problem. We've been talking about it for months. We don't have to go on about that anymore. But something interesting that I mentioned recently on a video is Effect might have been a problem for them. Yes, he's an incredible player, no doubt about that. But when it comes to his mentality and how depressed he was, it was pretty obvious overall he was having a negative effect on the team. No pun intended. I mean, there was literally times on the stage where he put his fingers to his head and fake shot a gun into himself. Like, come on, what does that show us? What does that show your teammates? You hate the situation you're in, you hate the team, you hate everybody, you hate it all. That's what it tells everybody, and that is not a good look. That is not good for your teammates. It's not good for anything. And ever since him and KyKy left, we haven't really seen any depressed moments from the Dallas Fuel. But when they were there, it was always depression. It was always sadness. So, I don't know. But I'm not going to talk about it anymore in this video. We'll save that for another day. And now, let's go ahead and take a look at this very last clip from Oversight. It doesn't really have much to do with KyKy or Effect. Just something that's pretty interesting about the Dallas Fuel. Let's go ahead and take a look.
We didn't play, like, for the whole break of the stage, we didn't play a single scrim because 1, we didn't get scrims, and 2, everybody was on vacation.
What do you mean you didn't get scrims? As in you just didn't arrange them?
No, we tried.
And people are like, and people thought your team was too bad to play.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, we had this, like, also because we've been playing so badly and we've been getting like pretty much shat on. So like even when we tried to book scrims like a month prior, right? Yeah. We still mostly play Dragons all the time or Academy team.
It's just you and Shanghai Dragons in an eternal death match of sorrow and misery.
Wow, that's actually crazy that they were playing Shanghai Dragons and Academy teams through Stage 3 and Stage 4 break, and then they came into Stage 4 and performed that well. You got to give credit to where credit is due. Dallas Fuel really have come up big so far this stage. And now looking at the practice they had prior to the stage, damn, good for them. And now I think this is a good transition to go ahead and start talking about the Dallas Fuel. Why are they this good? How far can they go? All right, so I think the first thing to talk about that's pretty much been out there and we've mentioned so far is the meta. Obviously, this meta does help the Dallas Fuel. There's no denying that. If we were still stuck in the dive meta, they probably wouldn't be this good. But they would still be performing much better because they have made drastic changes within the organization that seem to be helping them so much. And we've mentioned them already in this video, one being Aero. The guy has come in and he has completely taken over. From some of those clips when Taimou talks about Aero, it really does seem like the guy is doing wonders for the team. He helps them in-game when it comes to strategy, counter-stratting, something they never did before, and also outside of the game, they're doing team exercises, bonding stuff. So he kind of has the best of both worlds when it comes to being friends with the team team outside of the game, he does that, which is something KyKy kind of did. But when it comes to being the head coach of the team, the leadership, the authority figure, he also does that. So Aro's been a huge factor for the Dallas Fuel so far, and I don't got to mention him anymore. We've done a lot of that recently. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the players. The first guy I want to mention is Siegel. Now, Siegel, he has had world-class performances for the Dallas Fuel, specifically in the Los Angeles Gladiators match and the Boston Uprising match. Let's just go ahead and pull up the stats from both of those and see how well he did. So looking at this Los Angeles Gladiators match from week 1, which they actually lost, by the way, Siegel went 48-27, plus 21. Keep in mind now, Siegel played every single map and lost every single map. Looking at the rest of his teammates, none of them did even relatively close to as good as him. Matter in fact, they're all negative besides AKM, who only came in for one map and is plus 2. Now looking at the Boston Uprising match, the Dallas Fuel won this one. They went 3-0 with a draw on Lunar Horizon Colony, and Siegel went 49-19. Plus 30. Now, he didn't pop off in this match alone. Taimou, AKM, Mickey OG, they all played really good too. But overall, Siegel, clearly, he had a great game, and his level of flexibility is finally showing for this team. During stages 1 through 3, there was this huge meme about Siegel being stuck in jail because the Dallas Fuel just for some reason would never let him spread his wings. First, they put him on Junkrat duty, never really swapped off that. Then they put him on full-time Diva duty. The guy was literally locked up. Now he's been unleashed by Aro, and he's playing out of his mind not only on Diva, but on Hanzo, Genji, Pharah, Junkrat, and even more. So Siegel is finally out of jail, guys. Aro posted bond for him. Let me know down in the comments if you guys are happy that the goal is finally free. Now moving on to the next player I want to talk about, Mickey. This guy, wow. Now, I've mentioned this in multiple videos throughout the entire season. Mickey, he was not that great at Diva, and as time went on, he kept falling more and more behind. And the times that we did see Siegel on Diva, he was clearly way ahead of Mickey. Ever since Brigitte came into the meta, though, damn. Mickey has been a god. The way this guy positions on this hero is way beyond any other team. He's always in the right position at the right time, whether he needs to save a teammate or make a play on the other team. You just don't see him coming. Sure, there's other Brigittas in the Overwatch League that are pretty good right now. Some players have amazing stats like Prophet, but we all know Prophet pads his stats. He's not even that good. When you watch Mickey play, he is the absolute real deal. Also, a very interesting statistic about Brigitte is that the Dallas Fuel have 78% playtime on Brigitte so far in this stage, and the second team behind them is sitting at 24%. So nobody in the league is utilizing Brigitte like the Dallas Fuel, and this says two things. Mickey is absolutely amazing at it, and the Dallas Fuel overall as a team have figured out how to play around the hero perfectly. So Brigitte and Mickey are huge reasons why the Dallas Fuel are so good right now. Moving on to the next guy, it's Taimou. Now, he struggled a little bit in week 1, but in week 2, he started finding his groove, especially against the Philadelphia Fusion. We saw him absolutely dominate. Mainly when he was on that Widowmaker, he went to work. There was a certain point on Gibraltar where he made Shadowburn look like a bronze player. And also, he shut down Carpe throughout this series, and that's not an easy thing to do. This was a huge match for Taimou's confidence, and as a player who is really streaky and runs off of confidence, that's big for him. And if he can carry that momentum on throughout the rest of this stage, the Dallas Fuel can go extremely far. Because that is the last puzzle this team needs, is a hyper DPS carry. Sure, Siegel's good, he flexes a lot, but he is not the hyper carry. They need a guy on the Widowmaker who is going to kill everybody. And if Taimou can do that consistently, Dallas Fuel, they're going far. They really are. Because they have the pieces. They have the main tank that plays methodically. He doesn't go in and die too much. He doesn't play too passively. He knows when to make the plays. They have a solid backline right now. Unco, he's a great Zenyatta. He's a fragger. He does the damage. He can get the healing done. He also rarely makes mistakes or gets caught out. The team overall right now is just so much better than they ever were before, and it's crazy. Now, I know I'm hyping them up a lot right now. I don't think they can win this stage. I don't think they can get second place. But getting top 4 and making the playoffs is definitely possible. They can take out the London Spitfire. They can take out Seoul Dynasty. And if they do that, they're definitely in playoff talks. Alright, so to end this video off, let's just go ahead and look at the standings right now for Stage 4, and then look at the upcoming matches for the Dallas Fuel, and see what they need to do to be able to move on into the playoffs. So looking at the stage standings right now, they're currently in 5th place, sitting at 3-1-4 and +3 on maps. They're still under Philly, even though they just beat them. And then there's Los Angeles Valiant, Los Angeles Gladiators, and New York Excelsior, all sitting at 4-0. Now let's look at their matches coming up. They have the San Francisco Shock and London Spitfire this week. Now it's possible they go 2-0, and it's also possible they go 1-1. And both of those are pretty good scenarios. If they lose to San Francisco and beat London, or the other way around, really doesn't matter. They'll be sitting at 4-2. And then heading into a week 4 where you go up against the Houston Outlaws and Florida Mayhem, you're probably going to end up either 6-2 or 5-3. They'll definitely beat Florida Mayhem, and with Houston Outlaws struggling last week, it's very possible they beat the Houston Outlaws. And it is also possible going into week 4 that the Houston Outlaws are knocked out of the playoffs. So this match could mean absolutely nothing for them, and Dallas Fuel could show up big here. So it's pretty likely that the Dallas Fuel could be moving on to week 5, 6-2 or 5-3, going up against Seoul Dynasty and Los Angeles Valiant. They'll probably go 1-1 here, either beating Seoul, losing to Valiant, or the other way around. That would put them overall either at 6-4 or 7-3. 7-3 is 100% good enough to move on to the playoffs. 6-4 is very possible. If we look at the last stage here, LA Gladiators, they made it at 6-4. So I'd say the Dallas Fuel have at least a 50% chance right now to make it into the playoffs, maybe even better. It's also good that Philadelphia Fusion has a lot of matches coming up against Valiant, Gladiators, New York. Tough teams, so they'll probably lose some more. LA Valiant, likewise, Gladiators, likewise. They all have to play each other. And with London Spitfire currently sitting at 2-2, they're also on the climb. They could possibly take out some of these teams, along with the San Francisco Shock. So yeah, as I said, Dallas Fuel, they have a pretty good chance, and it would be very exciting seeing them make the playoffs. It would be the biggest turnaround for any team during the season so far. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching it. If you haven't already, please do consider clicking that subscribe button. I upload content like this every single day, so if you want to stay updated with the Overwatch League, this is your channel. As well as that, guys, enter the giveaway. There's a very good chance you could possibly win an Overwatch League jersey of your choice, and you know you don't want to miss out on that. Drop a like, leave a comment, ask me any question, and I'm out of here, guys. Peace.